Hello, welcome to the Zamanda Kaibolanlar channel. Today we will talk about the man known as the god of electricity, Nikola Tesla. There are known things. The unknowns are much more. What happened after his death is darker than even the records can describe. Are you ready? Because as this story progresses, it will get even deeper. And everything started with the rise of a genius. If you are ready, prepare a coffee. Because what you are about to hear will make you look at events from a different perspective. If you are ready, let's begin. Nikola Tesla was born in 1856 in Smiljan. By developing alternating current, he changed the world of electricity. He had a great rivalry with Thomas Edison. With his dream of wireless energy, he built the Wardenclyffe Tower. However, when John Pierpont Morgan withdrew his support, the project remained unfinished. In his final years, he was living a lonely life in the New Yorker hotel. In the 1930s, he started talking about a system he called Teleforce. The press called it the death ray. He was talking about a power that could shoot down airplanes from about 400 kilometers away. "If I do this, wars will end," he said, and offered it to various governments. However, no country officially accepted it. On January 7, 1943, 86-year-old Tesla was found dead in his hotel room. According to the official statement, the cause of death was heart failure. Everything seemed to end here. But the really important part was what happened after his death. Because just a few hours later, there were people who entered that room. And from that moment on, some things belonging to Tesla disappeared. Just a few hours after his death, government officials entered the room. Boxes were collected, notebooks and documents were hastily packed. It was wartime. "So it doesn't fall into enemy hands," they said. It seems logical. But why such haste? When his nephew Sava Kosanovich reached the room, the body had already been removed. Some documents were missing, especially the black notebook with "government" written on it. That notebook never appeared again. The documents were sent to Dr. John Trump from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology for examination. He was Donald Trump's uncle. 3 days later, his report was ready. Tesla's work in the last 15 years was largely imaginary and for promotional purposes. There was nothing applicable or useful. After that, the official records were quickly closed by state authorities. However, some document copies were sent to the Air Force, and a secret study called Project Nick was launched. The aim was to test studies based on Tesla's high-energy weapon idea. The project was closed shortly after. The results were never explained, and the documents disappeared over time. The timing was even more striking, as if everything had been planned in advance. Not a coincidence. It was timed. After that, another record was even more striking. Tesla's belongings were sent to the museum in Belgrade in 1952. According to official records, approximately 80 boxes were supposed to be delivered. However, the number of boxes delivered was 60. The missing 20 boxes were never found. What was inside them is still unknown. But there are some questions whose answers emerge not from the documents, but when looking at the events themselves. There is still no answer. Now let me tell you my own opinion. The truth is this. Immediately after Tesla's death, the documents were quickly collected and 20 boxes were missing. The striking point is that John Trump's insignificant report and secret studies like Project Nick emerged in the same period. In my opinion, the possible scenario is this. The government's real concern was not the death ray, but the wireless global energy system. If this vision had come to life, energy monopolies and the oil industry could have been seriously shaken. That's why some critical notes were taken, tested, and the parts seen as the most risky were kept secret for a long time. In the missing 20 boxes, there were both visionary notes and details supporting the thought that, if this system spreads, the world will change. But of course, this is just a possible scenario drawn from the events. Nikola Tesla was a genius who laid the foundation of alternating current and wireless technologies. But his greatest dream, unlimited energy, either remained unfinished or was left in the shadows. The missing boxes, the documents examined and found insignificant, and the questions that still remain unanswered have carried Tesla's legacy beyond the history of science and made it a part of state secrets. Maybe one day those boxes will be fully opened, and maybe there are such greedy state officials that some answers have been destroyed so they would never be given. In Zamanda Kaybolanlar, we will continue to examine the missing pages of history together. What do you think? What was really in those 20 boxes? Write in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. See you in the next episode. Keep your curiosity, and watch out for the electricity